right, hello and welcome to this episode of Boomer and Degen. I'm your host Biz with co-founder Crypto Hub HQ, Andy. Andy, how's your day going? I'm gonna start off with that first and foremost, and then we'll talk about other things in a minute.
No, day's going all right, actually.
Yeah, that's good. I thought I saw a nice little snippet of you with some that you shared with me. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. So some meetings and stuff, but some coding today. I did one trade, got stopped out, but again, that's the whole point of getting stopped out, right? Is that when the market goes against you, your trade thesis, that you get stopped out early, right?
Yeah,
Um, but the day is young. There's some more trades this afternoon, but we'll
yeah,
see.
no,
Other than that, just eating my lunch and I'm just having a coffee. So
I like that. I like that. Is that a Starbucks? Looks like a Starbucks straw.
no, well, actually, it's Cafe Amazon
Okay.
in Thailand. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the equivalent of. They do have Starbucks here, but it's like 3 times more expensive than like the normal coffee shops. And Cafe Amazon is really nice. So, and I get a discount if I take my own cup in, which I have this kind of cup.
Nice, nice.
I
Well,
got to take it this week.
I'm gonna apologize for the a bit of the mess in the background. I know mentioned that I was going to stream from a new location. Well, that didn't happen. I was really, really slammed busy trying to pack and get everything out the door. I got all the big items out. Now it's just a bunch of the little items left over. So today, tonight, I think tomorrow, and then that's it. I think we're gonna be good. So hoping to get back to normal schedule. Um, Tomorrow, and then we'll take a look at some trades. I haven't been trading, but what I have been noticing is like at least my phone, it was pinging off the market going down, and I'm seeing Bitcoin breaking certain support levels. I'm like, holy crap! Maybe it was a good thing I didn't trade today either. But anyhow, just going over some of the headlines, I noticed that uh, Bit, or the hackers from the Bybit um, laundered about almost close to about 90,000 ETH already. So, damn, man, you're starting to see some of this impact, I guess, right here. So, a lot of
Yeah,
news, I guess.
yeah. Well, we can only trade what we see, and what we see is a shitload of red. So let's get into it, shall we? I mean,
Yeah,
there's just no point. In fact, I might not even show this until we start getting some recovery, because it just shows that everything's down.
yeah,
But if we go to Bitcoin, I mean, what I did was I found because we keep pinging about this level,
yeah.
slightly above this, it's very likely again. I actually went in and to the session profile and realized that there was a long-term old POC.
Mm-hmm.
So I put that on. So it might be wise to lift this. It might be better to lift this box to there. We may have already reached this, looking very likely again. This may be it. There's another POC beneath it. There's a POC every day, right? So at the end of every trading day, that the kind of fair value for that price of the day is set in stone. And they tend to be support and resistance. And you can see if you look at the POC of yesterday, before we had the 4.5, nearly 5% drop in Bitcoin, it was being supported by the POC of yesterday, POCY as I call it here. So that was pinging off there. That was the price everybody was going, well, in between that old POC and this is about a good price. And then all of a sudden we had a like 5%, over 5% drop in Bitcoin, which of course sent the poor alts down as well. And they went down 13%. All right. So it was a bad day from if you're looking to kind of, if you bought as crypto to hold, like
Yeah.
over the market. Now, some people are actually saying, and it's interesting that maybe the top is already in for this cycle, even though things like Pi Cycle top algorithm, which I've written, that's not showing we're at a cycle top, but maybe this is an unusual cycle for many reasons. It's the first cycle where Bitcoin has been adopted by so many people, right? And so like all eyes are on crypto, but equally the stock markets are all down, right? As well, it's not just crypto.
Yeah.
The Dow Jones is down, I think, as well. So I think the overall financial market. I mean, there are some people saying that we are heading for another 2008 type crash,
Yeah.
um, and I think because I think there's a lot of reasons for it in the sense of the world is run on debt. The fiat system is all about debt. You know that China have like hundreds of billions of dollars of American debt, and that's how the Americans fund the government and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, well,
I
that's
mean,
how it
it's
exactly. And then they buy their bonds, and they're sitting on a whole bunch of it.
yeah, and I mean, if basically if China and Japan and everybody else just decided to dump that debt, the dollar would just completely go down. Um, I mean, the dollar's dominance is dying anyway. We know that, right? Um, and it has been not just, it's nothing to do with the latest administration, it's been happening for a long time.
Yeah.
Uh, America's influence in the world, like all empires, and I'm British, so I know all about the British Empire.
Oh yeah.
And the British Empire was like the biggest empire. We owned 40% of the planet at one point, and all we had was ships and flags. We'd put a flag somewhere and go, we claim this land in the name of the king, and that was it. We went all over the world in little ships doing that. Quite staggering, really, how with the
Yeah. Yeah.
arrogance of them got away with it. All empires, all leading economies have their top and they go down. And America's top was decades ago, and it's now heading down. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, see, what's happening right now is that they're trying to slow it down. And this is why they're doing all these tariffs and things like that, because it was
mm,
actually getting out of hand. It was really
mm,
getting out of hand. And so, but what you're getting now is just it's almost like it's necessary. Because if it was going down the road it was going, it would have been worse off. It's bad any way you try to slice it. Whether you
well,
kept things
the
going,
debt, the debt in America is now bigger than the GDP, right? And like most countries, they don't pay down the capital of the debt; they just pay the deficit, right? Which is
yeah.
that the interest. They try to pay off the interest, right? But because with all of these tax breaks for the rich, they're just adding to the debt all the time. It's like the last hurrah. And I think there's a kind of theory. There's a big theory that at some point they're going to have this thing called the big reset,
Yeah.
and that reset will be moving to a digital currency and then wiping all the debt somehow. But they'll basically just
Well,
create.
they'll leverage the debt
Yeah.
catastrophe into, well, this is why we need a
Mm,
digital
mm,
system. We need transparency. We need these things. This is the
mm,
solution. Little do they
yeah.
know, I mean, once you go take things into the digital realm, it's an open book ledger and everything starts to get tracked, and you start to see things get more compliance related, and next thing you
Yeah.
know, only certain wallets, if you interact with compliant ecosystems, you'll be good. Look, we can start to see the rabbit, or we can unroll and see how things would play out, but like, it's pretty scary. uh
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. So I think maybe the top's in. Maybe that top of what was it, 109,000, just short of 110,000. Maybe that is the top for this particular cycle. And if we go to the week chart, not a bad cycle really. We've gone above a trend line there, right? So
Wait, hold on.
maybe,
If they introduce a digital ecosystem, that's going to send a bunch of value back into the digital space. Right now, there is nothing like that. It's not, there's no standard implemented yet.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not an economist. I'm not. I'd like to think I'm not corrupt, and I don't think like all these corrupt politicians do, because they're just playing the system for their own benefit and the benefit of large companies and things like that, right? So, with certain individuals who like swinging around chainsaws, trying to control everything, right? And so, I mean, who knows how it's going to play out?
That's
But maybe
true.
this is maybe the top's in,
Yeah.
and
Local top,
and now
maybe.
we're going to slide back down like we do in normal cycles, down to
Oh,
could be. what the fuck, you know?
Well,
So well,
we're gonna have to pull up the what's that? The psychology of market trend. What's that?
well, okay. So this hasn't changed since yesterday, right? But now let's look at the Fear and Greed Index. Are you ready?
Ooh,
Down from 40 to 29 in
wow.
one day, right?
That's it. Yeah, 5% out of
And
Bitcoin is a big deal.
we are, the people are thinking it's over. They're just thinking it's over. And who knows, or this could just be the calm before the storm, as it were. Who knows? Again,
I
though,
don't
you see,
know.
from our
Yeah,
crypto hub's point of view, I care not a jot,
yeah.
right? Because my job is or our job, and particularly my job when it comes to coding this, is just to look at what we have, right? Look, what is outperforming BTC right now, SUSDT? What's rising fast and falling less? Layer, that's been coming into my alerts. Before I do that, though, Kato, I got stopped out in a trade today and then did a trade setup, and it pipped into my entry. I did a much lower trade setup, and then I just missed it, and I would have had 12%. So, but yes, I got stopped out, and I thought I'm gonna have a lower entry rather than shorting it because I was
Mhm.
just busy trying to set up some coding. I'll just wait for it to come down for another long, and it did. It pinged exactly my entry. The white line is my entry, and it just pinged right into it. If you go to the 1 minute chart, you can see it pinged into it twice. So every time I do this, or every time I miss a trade, and in fact every time, even if I have a loss, I always look at what did I get wrong, right? Now, one of the things that I we're always learning, and one of the things I'm learning is not to too aggressively raise my stop as it goes into profit.
Mm.
Give it that time to breathe.
Yeah,
I've had a few situations where I've gone up to a few percent in profit, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to raise my stop, and then it has a natural dip,
yeah,
and it goes up, and then it goes up a lot more, right? So you've just got to trust that once you've got a profit, and actually, this is a really good lesson. Like when you're trading, Biz, what do you think is the most important thing to concentrate on?
they always preach about risk management.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing where
So
to enter and setting your stops to mitigate your risk. And so that's also calculating how much leverage you're going in to
right,
manage that
and
as well.
at no point is your mind on if this reaches 14.75%, I'll have $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 profit. At no
Mm.
point should your brain be on that. So you just once your setup comes in, you let it run up,
Yeah.
and then the profit you get is what the trade gives you,
Yeah.
right? Because the trade could, if Bitcoin suddenly tanked, it could tank back down, right? Yes, raise your stop once you're in a profit. Protect yourself so you've got a no lose scenario, but at no point be obsessed when you're doing your trade setup. Don't be obsessed with the profit target.
Yeah,
Be
for sure.
obsessed with when does this thesis break down? When do I decide that if I'm right, that I think this is it's going to come into here, but if something was to happen, where would it, if it went below, like I went below this point here, like this low here, right? And below this fair value gap. And I put my stop just below this. And I thought, well, if it comes into there and I get into a trade, I'd expect it to stay above that. And if it went beneath that, it means it's breaking down even more. So I shouldn't be in the trade anyway. So
Hmm.
so that's the thesis. And then what the profit is takes care of itself. Right. That's
Yeah.
that's the main focus, right?
Well, yeah, because
Um,
because then you're playing what the price action is giving you based on the data
yeah,
before, but the prior, like your fair value gaps from previous sessions or that formed previously.
yeah, right. So
Yeah,
so this
so like your
layer,
bearish fair value gap, you can target those as your exit point, as your exit.
that's absolutely true. If you go back to say Cato here, you could have said, well, there's a mitigated, oh, that's just mitigated the order block, the bearish order block right there. So you could have said, well, actually, I'm going to set my target there, or even, like, yeah, there at 6.93%. And if it gets there, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Whatever that profit is at that point, right? Whatever leverage I've used, or whatever amount of my capital I've gone in on. What is important, though, is that you are not risking in that trade more than a certain small percentage of your overall capital.
Yeah.
That's pivotal, right? So, as you know, I use 5%, but again, other people recommend a lot less. So you either have to have a very tight stop, or you have to go in with a lot less, right? Or you have to use much lower leverage,
Leverage.
maybe
Yeah. Usually
5x.
leverage is a good way to combat that.
Yeah, that's the best way to combat it. Is you just
Yeah.
you go down. I've had quite a lot of successful trades with using 30x recently because the thesis stands up, right? The alerts that we get stand up.
Yeah.
But when you get events like yesterday with this, no thesis in the world, if you're in a long, can protect you against that, right? Just
That's
it doesn't
true.
matter. Which is why you've got to either get your setup and your thesis ready in the first place and work it out. Get the risk set up, and then the reward. You usually they say 3-1, right? 3-1 risk reward ratio. But actually let it come up and then try get that stop into a profit. And after that, doesn't really matter if you get a small profit or a really big profit. If it rides up, you're going to get a profit.
Yeah.
Let the take care of itself, but keep raising your stop as you go. So you're getting more and more, locking in more and more profit, right?
Well, I think the mistake is usually when traders get into, or even when I used to, and even sometimes, is that over the long term, it looks like you could probably get your 10, 15, 20, or 30, 40, or whatever, based on if you were to take a look at the price, the structure of the price action. It looks
Yeah.
like it's going to head that way. But the problem is that sometimes the market doesn't give you what you think, where
No.
you think that the price is going to go to. And so that's the problem. What you do know, and I think it's a lot easier to control, is within the day. But when you start to plan out like multi-day trades, like it's a different beast, right?
Well, that's
And
swing trading, right? There's a difference. Day traders are going after those short-term gains, and then swing traders, you're opening a trade for hours, cut stroke days, right? And you're using a higher time frame, right? So you are,
yeah,
you're up at the 1 hour, and again, it's a much more relaxed approach
I guess
of
so.
trading
It's also
because
yeah, you're right. I guess so. You can manage your
let's look
schedule a
at
lot
that.
better, I think. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is that this is where when you go on a higher time frame and let's say you thought that was your entry, the top of that fair value gap, then really your stop loss needs to be down here,
Well,
which is
what's
2%, right? Which
okay,
is so
so
that would really dictate using 5x leverage
okay, so let's
maximum.
just say you're in a multi-day like swing position. I mean,
Mm.
you're really like when are you getting out? Because like
You're getting out at exactly the same point. You've got a
but it took you like 3 days to get to the same point when sometimes it only takes you one day if you can get in at the
ah,
right time.
but this comes down to how much time do you have in a day. And if sometimes if you've been looking at charts for 10 hours, it's tiring, man.
Yeah?
And, so some people, they work a job. So they set this trade going and then they go to work. And if they can look at the trade and then go, raise my stop now, I'm in a profit. I don't really give a shit. And then they just get out when they feel happy. So it's not, we're not, it comes back to a lot of these degens try chase the moon, right? Moon, 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 moon. That is just bullshit when it comes to trading, right? It's just complete and utter bullshit. It's a marathon, not a sprint, for heaven's sake. You can build your wealth up over a period of years, not over a period of hours. But in this generation, they want everybody. I want it now, right? And I'm quoting Homer Simpson there about the buffalo fryer that Mo got, so that it can deep fry an entire buffalo in 45 seconds. And Homer went, but I want it now. So it's like, but that's exactly true, right?
Yeah,
Um,
okay, it's like yeah, you're right. They want it at the hour, right? Or like the,
yeah, want to lock in those profits within 10 minutes
Yeah.
and then start looking through brochures for Lamborghinis or whatever. It's like, duh. So yeah, so you have your risk reward here is still 5 to 1, but they say 3 to 1 is the way to go. So if you look at three there, that would be the profit there, 6.41%. So if you're using 5x leverage, that's 30%. And
Mm-hmm.
again, there's no that again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And if you're not a day trader, you do that. I mean, the alerts that we've got work on any time frame. It just so happens I run them on the 15-minute and an hour. But I could create swing trader alerts as well, which work on the 1 hour, 4 hour. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Uh, Piece of cake. I mean, literally, the code, you can pass the time frame into the function. So I can run it on literally 4 hours rather than 15 minutes. And then just set it up in the cron job to fire that once every 4 hours, right? So, but yeah, but there's still lots of Cato now outperforming Bitcoin. Coming back to Cato, so that's the one that I missed when it pinged down into my entry.
Yeah.
But again, I'm coding. Finished on the Solidity contracts, and now I'm coding the front end dashboard.
Hold on.
React
Solidity contracts for.
for the inheritance service for
Oh
the
yeah. That's right. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a service where you will be able to inherit, should you die,
Mm-hmm.
your digital assets will be able to be passed on to a beneficiary.
Yeah.
So to be able to put their wallet address in, and then if you don't prove you're alive at any point, then they can do that. And then if the beneficiaries disappeared, you can set up sentinels. Sentinels form a quorum, and that quorum can decide on a new beneficiary. So for your estate management, it's basically estate management, but digital estate management. But you can also do it by without having to transfer NFTs into it as like a smart wallet. We can actually do it for NFTs, the valuable NFTs that you own as well, without taking ownership of them, without getting too technical.
Yeah.
So
Well, it
that's
sounds
coming.
pretty interesting.
It is. So that's coming soon, and it should be done in the next. Well, the dashboard will be done in the next week, I think.
There
We'll
you
see.
go.
Because I don't have full time to work on it because I'm trading. I'm looking at new alerts for us. I actually did a new alert. I've not put it in yet, and I'm not quite sure if it's
Reversible yet?
in.
Or
Let me have a look. It's this one. Let me have a look, see if we've got any in. And what this does, it works much better in a high time frame. Nothing there.
what's the aim of this?
The aim is to tell me if there's been a golden cross on any particular alt.
And so that would be the 200 over the 50?
Yeah, 50 over.
Or
Yes,
50
that's
over.
right. Yeah. So it works. It's just that this one gets it just as it's happened, right? So if there's none, if I go down to the 15-minute, there might well be one or two that does it. But let's have a look. No, but right now, no. But this is going to be more of a 4 hour thing. Actually, I think
what are you able to find out if you get a golden cross on the 4 hour? What's the duration to which that bullishness plays out for?
I'm not sure if I quite understand that. You'll have to say it again.
Yeah, like so you get the golden cross, and if you're playing with the 4 hour, how long of an interval does that usually play out for?
Oh, before
like what's the average?
Yeah, crosses back. Who knows? I mean, I can't to write a query that outputs for a particular altcoin all the crosses up and down. That would be easy. But the problem is when you do it on a lower time frame, it crosses quite often.
Way too often, right?
So
it kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah. Now, obviously, when you use a higher time frame, the move has already started, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's an extra confluence that we're now in but I've actually written another one which tells you if a coin, and this is the one I'm adding a new table. where I'll be keeping a record of those coins that are in, and I think this uses something similar, whether you're in an uptrend or a downtrend on 4 hours or 15 minutes, right? So it uses 4 hours and 15 minutes and says, this coin's in a downtrend in 4 hours, but it's now in an uptrend in 15 minutes.
Mm.
So that when we send these alerts into here, like outperforming BTC, it'll have LT and ST for long term and short term, and tick and cross. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or up or D, U or D for uptrend, downtrend.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So there's lots of stuff I'm going to be adding. So lots of programming to do. I wish I was just a full-time trader because my life would be easier. But yeah, so I'm either coding Solidity or React or whatever it is that I'm doing. But the test suite for the new stuff is finished. I finished that the other day, and so now it's just the dashboard, and it's going to be a subscription service, just like we did for Crypto Hub HQ. As you know, I've written a subscription NFT where you can. Yeah, so I'm going to be using something very similar. I'm going to base it off the same contracts, where whether you can upgrade and downgrade, you can see, you probably won't be able to stop your subscription because for this, you need to keep it live.
Oh, for sure. It's a beneficiary. Yeah.
But you're going to be able to do things like maybe upgrade so you can protect, like the entry level will allow you to protect a few assets, if you know what I mean, and then you'll upgrade to protect more. So, but anyway, that's off the track of trading. But yes, so in terms of coins that are still going up, Varna, I'm sure Varna's in my little list here. Damn well should be. It wasn't. Maybe I took it out this morning. Oh yeah, right.
So, there you go.
So Varna is booking. Let's go to the 15-minute on Bitcoin. Varna is booking the Bitcoin trend, and I wonder if it's going its own way as well. Oh yeah, there you go. You just knew that, right? You just knew that it was going to be going its own way at the same time. So Varna, great coin to put in to there. I mean, this one has done amazing today. Res, which is another one that came up in our alerts. That's bucking the trend as well. And I think that's.
Oh no!
There you go.
Okay.
They're really good. Yeah. So, but I mean, that's the market biz. We are, from a Bitcoin standpoint. I mean, if you look at, I don't know if you've seen this, but Sol, damn.
Ouch. Ouch.
Sol, it's in big trouble. I mean, and you've got all your meme coins to thank for that. I mean, that, and again, another one that's pulled back quite a lot, by the way, and I've got it in my watch list, is XRP.
Yeah, I noticed it's
not as much Sol, but I mean, Sol, hang on a sec. Sol has tanked what? From its top, it's down 53%, 54% from its top. I mean, Sol is just like, I'm tempted to say fucked. But I've got an alert down here. I've had it for some time, waiting for it to come under it, and it's almost hit it. It's almost hitting it. So I was kind of looking back here and going, I wonder if it's going to come back down to this. This was when it was up here somewhere. It looks like it's coming true. I mean, oddly enough, we were saying this before the stream. I've been calling this downtrend now for how long?
Yeah, dude, that's been there since it's been a while. I mean, before it put in the higher high, I mean, we already saw weakness in this chart already. But then we saw it do the higher high, and then we're like, okay, then we kind of changed it. It did change the sentiment a little bit, and then we see the price of, and then we see it break the structure again, and then now it just looks pretty horrible at this point.
Well, I mean, we're still in a.
But it's crazy though. I mean, who would have known the hack, right? I mean, did the chart not lie? I mean, how would it have known?
What's interesting is if I just stick this favorites on here and do this went like this for a while, right?
Yeah.
And this might be doing this for a while before it fucks off up, right?
Well, That's true.
Who
But if
knows?
it does go to what the, I mean, that's gonna take a quite a bit of time to figure out, you know?
And this is the key. We're in for a long haul in this, whatever this run is, right? It's a long haul, and just got to be patient. If you're trading, different thing. If you're holding, you're buying to hold for the long term. I mean, interestingly enough, right? Bitcoin dominance is up at 62 today, and USDT has gone up as well, like quite a bit. So
Yeah.
over the last few days, 11% up on USDT dominance. People are just sitting this one out. They're
Hmm.
just sat because they see things like this and they go, "Holy shit!" I mean, I'm quite lucky actually because I had quite a lot of Solana,
Yeah.
and I sold it up I think around here, this level.
Yeah. Way
Um,
earlier though.
yeah, about this
Yeah.
level here. It was
Yeah.
back. It was back.
Yeah. It was
It
right
was
there.
back here.
Yeah.
And before it went to this new high, but I sold it right here. But I had quite a lot of it, Solana, um, which for a long time in my wallet, I just had all this Solana right from years ago when I was involved in Solana-based NFT projects, and they kept gifting me NFTs, and then I'd sell them, and then just put the Sol in this wallet, but then I sold out, and wow, am I glad I did. It's still dropping, look, 139.
Mm.
I mean, it's been down to 135, so I might be getting a ping later today down at 130. I've put the level at 130 here.
Might
It
be
looks like we might hit it, right?
yeah. Yeah.
So if you believe in Solana, you love Solana, and you think 5 years from now it's going to be $1,000,
I don't know about five
you might be
years.
one of
Can we just play the
you
bounce?
might be you might be one of DCA in at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
I wouldn't mind
but
playing the
but
bounce, to be honest.
you're assuming it's going to bounce from there all the way back up to there,
Nah,
right?
no, 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 no. Wait, like maybe to the maybe
The
to,
order,
yeah, right about there. Yeah.
yeah, so
I mean, that would
20%.
be my hope. That would be my hope. But most likely, if I feel that the move is not strong enough, I'd probably go at the fair value gap, bearish one, just above.
Yeah, but look, if you'd have been short in this, like you'd have had a perfect entry up at this. Look at that. It kind
Yeah.
of came back up to this fair value gap here.
Wow,
You
what
could
a
have had
bull
your,
trap. You see, if you drew
you
that
know,
the downtrend, and you see how it broke it, and then it kind of retests it, and then it just
yeah,
breaks down. Oh my goodness.
you had a 44% trade if you'd have shorted it at that point. So it's always easy to say that in
Hindsight.
hindsight.
Yeah, that's what they call it. Hindsight capital.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's never that easy. If you're sat with this chart back here at this point, and you do this, and you go, now is this the start of an uptrend, or is this now going back down? Right. So hindsight's an amazing thing, and that's why I love the replay on TradingView, because you can kind of see what would I have been thinking now. I forget now what the price.
Does
I know the
look
price
bullish.
action.
Yeah.
Does it look bullish, or is that a double bottom?
No,
It's that
so
kind of.
I had too many of these. Like if I drew the downtrend or the trend line from the top down, and
Yeah,
I see it tag it at this level, I'd be super cautious
right.
because
So you see, you tagged it there, right?
yeah,
And so you might be waiting for it. If we just let that play just for a second,
yeah,
because you see there, look, it's just
yeah.
playing this trend line,
Okay, so
right?
so I'll be honest with you. Oh my goodness. So I actually most likely would have played it right there when it broke above.
About yeah.
No,
Well,
earlier.
let's
But then it broke
earlier.
down below that. So I would have been stopped out.
So now, look, it's back up again.
All right.
So you've
That
got,
would have messed that no, not yet.
but
Not
at this
yet.
point,
Not yet.
even if you're not in there, you're still in a profit, right? So if you hang on a sec, let me just drag that down. It's just going down this trend line. That's what it's doing. So
Yeah.
if you got in at this point, you'd have got it actually bing. Oh, that's good. I'm staying in the trade. Oh, bing, good. I'm staying in the trade. And it just keeps going.
Yeah, but this is
But
the part where it messed a lot of people up. I think that's the one.
yeah,
Yeah. So
and then
you had a complete
it's
breakdown.
yeah. But look at that. Now, if I just get rid of that and just to
So,
see, well, so there you go. So it went up it and then da 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 da. So you might have got out of the trade at that point, but you'd have still had a very good profit, right? From there down to say there, 19%. You still had a very good trade. But yes, it's hindsight's a great thing. But again, this is when it comes back to your trades, your trade thesis, right? What is your trade thesis, and then where does it break down?
yeah, exactly. You got to
Managing
know.
risk, the most important thing. Simple as that. Let the profits take care of themselves. You know, it's and don't go chasing. You know, don't go chasing. It's like I did with Cato. Once I missed it this morning, and it came into here, I was like, ping. I go, and I could get in now, but then Bitcoin was buggering about. Like Bitcoin was buggering about, and Cato at this point, when I was looking at the trade, was going down faster than rising. It was rising
Mm,
less and going down faster. So I was like, no, because if Bitcoin goes down 0.5%, I'm getting stopped out.
yeah.
So yeah, so you just wait, but you just wait because that could have been a good short there. Who knows? So anyway, that's it, Biz. It's a red day, and whoops, 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 whoops. Where are we?
Oh,
Bitcoin.
that's a nice looking chart. What was that? The
What
dominance?
the USDT
Oh, that
dominance?
the
Yeah.
USDT? Yeah, okay, let's stack those stables.
So
Yeah,
not a good looking chart.
yeah.
But as you can see, Bitcoin is struggling. Bitcoin is struggling
Well, I
today.
wouldn't mind that doji if it closes there today. Tomorrow it would
Hey,
look pretty bright.
you've got another 12 hours or so before it. More, in fact,
That's
18
cool.
hours
That's
before.
cool. Let it do its thing. I'm in, yeah. Well, whatever.
So just
I'll learn how to short.
yeah, I do short all the time.
Yeah.
I'm now kind of, for me, long short makes no difference. The thesis is exactly the same. So it's
Yeah.
and of course we've got shorting alerts here. That's what these are for, right? That's what these are for. BNT has a bearish fair value gap. This was 2 minutes ago, or 8 minutes ago. BNT USDT. There was one of these. It might have been this one. I decided not to trade it as there wasn't liquidity. There was just no liquidity.
Yeah.
But yes, that's going down. So you could wait for it to come back up to there, then get in if it's definitely tanking.
Yeah.
But it's going down with Bitcoin, right? It's just following Bitcoin. Look at that. It's just whoops. Come here. Where's my cursor gone? Little arch. Little arch. So there's some coins I refuse to trade because there's no liquidity.
Yeah.
You'll sit there waiting to get in and out, but yeah, but we have alerts. We have alerts for all of that shit, which is great. That's it, Biz. We're done. We're
Cool,
out of
cool.
here.
Yeah. No, we 40 minutes, not too shabby, Markets are down, but no shortage of news and insights. All right. So guys, thank you all for watching. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Probably again. I know I said it yesterday, but I swear tomorrow will be a different setup. We'll be out of here. And looking to make
Yeah,
some trades and take a look at some charts and do my thing once I get situated and all that. So until tomorrow, Andy, we'll talk soon and stay safe out there, everybody. Peace out.
yeah. Happy safe trading.
Yeah.